Welcome everyone. Welcome pile one. This is your reading. This is who you are meant to be, who you are deep down. Okay. So you chose Celestite. So the number 15 could be relevant to you as well as the number 6. And with 6 being here, and 6 is Venusian energy and this heart-shaped Celestite or Celestite. I don't know how you read that, but you have a very strong connection to the angelic realm. Your crown chakra is always in receiving mode. You have a very active crown chakra, meaning you are claircognizant. So this is your main psychic ability, is claircognizance. You just know things. You may not have all the other psychic abilities developed or as developed, but that one is the most developed that you have. So I'm also seeing someone here, you could have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or Scorpio in your chart. A very high-functioning brain, I would say. Definitely a lot of connecting the dots here. You are very claircognizant. You have a lot of ideas. You have... there are a lot of downloads that come in from the higher realms for you. The only thing is that sometimes I feel you do doubt your intuition. There is, because where there is so much mental activity to receive all of these downloads, the mind can also get in the way. And so I do feel that even though you are very connected to the angelic realm, I see at times you do doubt this, or you doubt your psychic abilities, or you even doubt that that is real, that it's a thing. But your claircognizance is definitely very, very active. All those ideas you have are actually downloads from the higher realms and things that you're meant to ground here on this 3D reality. So I would say, if anything, your intuition is very strong as well. It's just that sometimes you don't follow it, you don't trust it, or you're in denial of the information that you receive, or you may think, maybe it's a little bit wacky to think that I am this connected, right? Or maybe you did at one point in your life, but you're definitely very connected to your archangels. They're all around you, especially Archangel Michael is what I'm seeing here, okay? Protecting you, bringing you information. Archangel Gabriel as well as Archangel Uriel for wisdom, and Archangel Gabriel bringing you messages, okay? So I'm seeing these 3 archangels very strongly connected to you. You're someone who is very wise. You are very knowledgeable. Yeah, I do see that. And it's all because of your connection here. So whenever you need help discerning what is your intuition and what is your ego, you can always ask your angels to give you signs, and you will know. Maybe you do use Celestite or Celestite to connect to the angelic realm. If you don't, then this is actually a very powerful crystal to help you connect here. Yeah. So those are your first messages. Let's see what else we have for you here. Okay. The infinite. Exactly. I mean, someone who is so connected to the higher realms could only be an infinite being, right? You are infinite. The possibilities for you are infinite. You are limitless. You have access to infinite information, blessings, everything you need. It's like it's never ending. The supply never ends for you, because it's like you were born connected and you're always connected. Again, it may be that at sometimes you forget how connected you are, or at some point in your childhood that connection was blocked, and it kind of was taken over by the mundane, the ego, the fear, everything that we learn on this plane. It is a learning curve. So, and I do believe that what's happening is that you're going back to that infinite limitless state of being that is your natural state here. You are eternally connected. You've been through many cycles, soul cycles, and I'm seeing this image of a phoenix rising from the ashes here. So I'm seeing a lot of deaths and rebirths. So you've had a lot of lifetimes, and in this lifetime, it's like you've had a lot of lifetimes in this one lifetime, meaning you've had a lot of cycles open and close, a lot of chapters, it's like a cat living, 9 lives in one. That's kind of how I'm seeing you here. And you've understood that you're actually so much more than your physical body. That is something that you have definitely understood. Now, to what degree you are actually connected, I feel is something that you have woken up to later in life here. Okay. So who are you at your core? You are someone who is infinitely connected to the higher realms. You are wise, you are claircognizant and intuitive, very smart, very intelligent, very wise, very knowledgeable. Also a little bit of an overthinker, I would say here. We have the castle. So for some reason, when I saw this, the first word that came to mind was the keeper of the castle. Like someone who holds the keys to the castle is what I'm seeing here. Now, I don't know what that means exactly for you, but you hold the keys to the kingdom, keys to the castle. Keys as in, you can translate energy and information. But it's almost like you are meant to keep this information. The number 43 could be relevant to you, as well as the number 7. Sorry, I couldn't add 4 plus 3. I don't know what's wrong with me. Who are you? But you're also like very protective of yourself. And it's like you're a guardian of this energy. Like you protect this energy that comes through for you. You protect this information. Like this information is meant to come out through you, because I'm seeing with the blue here, I'm seeing you having a strong gift of communication as well. So it's like this information is safe if it comes through you, like you are the guardian of this information. It is being trusted to you to be delivered. And until then, you will protect it until you're ready to deliver the correct message. You will guard it like you're this fortress that contains this knowledge. And it will only come out once you are ready to deliver it in the right time, in the right way. So I would say you have a gift of communication that you're meant to be using somehow. It is a part of your life purpose. We have Don Juan. So I'm getting you have this very seductive quality to you, and the reason why this has been bestowed upon you has to do with the fact that you are the one who is meant to communicate this. And you have to have some level of charisma. You have to have some level of likability or attractability or attractiveness, let's put it that way. You are very magnetic. And the reason why you were made to be this magnetic was so that you could deliver this important message to others or to many, because the reason why you have these seductive qualities is not by chance. It's so that people would pay attention to what you have to say at the right time, because you are the person who is meant to deliver this message, if it makes sense. But you are very seductive. You have this very seductive quality to you, male or female, doesn't matter. There's something very feminine if you are a feminine, and there's something very seductive even if you're a masculine. You're in your masculine energy, if that makes sense. Okay? It's almost like a lot of people are romantically attracted to you, but the purpose of this is to draw attention to your message. That is the higher spiritual purpose of your level of attractiveness. And we have Samaritan. So you are someone who you're always willing to help others. You root for the underdog. You are someone who is there for those who normally are overlooked, who are ignored by society. Now, I just got this vision of this documentary that I watched, I think it was 15 years ago, about these kids in Brazil, in Rio, how they are invisible, these invisible kids from the favelas, and how people are like taught to ignore them so that they don't activate them causing any trouble. But the problem is they become traumatized from being ignored, and I believe that there is a ripple effect that this will create even in their own lives. And so, but you are someone who is a game changer. I see you as someone who maybe, like, I remember walking around Rio, and I remember I was told, don't look at those kids, don't look at those kids. And I had watched the documentary, and I love kids. And so I was like, because, you know, the first thing that strikes you in a place where, you know, you don't feel safe is, okay, maybe, and especially after watching that other movie, I think it's The City of God, where kids are actually groomed, unfortunately, to become very violent and criminals, and so my first reaction was to not look at them, but then I walked back and I made a point of looking at them, and I remember them saying, she looked at us, and I know that those kids, they felt seen in that day, and you know, just that, and I saw them smile, and so I feel in a way, you know, we need to take a risk here to open our hearts. Something told me that my heart, you see, this green energy told me that I needed to look at those kids. They needed me to look at them. And it was no mistake that I got to watch that documentary before. But again, you know, even if they were groomed to be aggressive, those specific kids, maybe not those specific kids, but they're still just kids, right? And so there's something about you that you have this inherent quality within you. You are someone who would take risks for people that would otherwise be ignored. And you're that person who will be there when no one else is. For the people in your family, for anyone who will pass by you on the street, for your friends, for strangers. You're that person. And you're that way for a reason, and you're meant to set some form of example here. And it has something to do with healing the heart, the collective heart chakra, with this green here right in the middle, and the heart here. Heal the collective heart, because the heart chakra is a collective chakra, is the one chakra where it's all the same for everyone. We're all connected through it. Well, whoever has one, of course, because, you know, there are things on this planet that are human, but they're not. They're soulless, okay, but that's another story. But it's like, you are meant to, through this collective heart chakra, communicate to affect the collective heart chakra in this way where those who are ignored no longer go by ignored, if that makes sense. And it's almost like you're meant to be seen doing this with your seductive qualities. And it's almost like you're meant to be seen doing this. People are meant to see you doing this, and for that you have the seductive qualities so that they can feel inspired by your example and see how these little things can really change the lives of people here and there, and collectively then ends up creating a ripple effect and having a much bigger effect on the whole, if that makes sense. Okay? What else? We have full moon, completion and culmination. So what I'm seeing with this full moon is that you are meant to shed a light on things that are otherwise hidden. Okay? Hidden from society, hidden from awareness, from consciousness. You're meant to bring about consciousness, to activate people's consciousness. Yes, that's what it is. Toward these causes that don't get much publicity, I would say. Because, you know, there are all those causes that everyone follows, but then there are those causes that are ignored. And what I see is that you are here to shed a light on those causes and those people who get ignored, normally get ignored. Yes. To bring awareness and to activate people's consciousness toward certain things that get ignored. We have spiritual teacher. So you are a spiritual teacher. Yes, of course, that makes a lot of sense. You heal. Maybe you're meant to teach or to provide sessions or seminars of sorts, or webinars or something like that. But you are a spiritual teacher, and your purpose with teaching, and of course that makes a lot of sense with the communication, because you have to speak to teach, right? Or, well, at least mostly. There are other forms of communication, of course, like you can use gestures or the written word or singing, but there's something you do that you communicate through whichever means that those are, whether it's gestures, even silent movies were forms of communication, whether it's something you write, right? That teaches and heals at the same time. It heals and then it teaches others to follow suit and heal as well. So, yes, practice. Polish your skills. So maybe you play some musical instrument, or you've practiced something regularly that has awakened you, or you've been through something so many times that it really activated you to see in others. Maybe you were ignored. Maybe you were, you felt left out in the cold. Maybe you felt, unseen, right? And so it happened to you so many times, and it really, you turned it into a strength. It's now a strength for you because you are able to be that person in these people's lives that you didn't have in your life, right? And so it's like you teach people about practicing, polishing their skills, because it says polish your skills, polishing their skills so that they can rise up and above in their life. Like there's something you teach people, like you give them the tools. You don't do things for them, but you give them the tools so that they can fend for themselves and stand on their own 2 feet on their own. Like you give them something very valuable. And that's this information that you keep only for those who really need it, and only for those who are really prepared to receive it. Until then, and you're also this guardian to these people. You're like a fortress to these people. Like whoever these people are who find you or you find, they did not have any stability. So they could have chaotic, what is it called, disorganized attachment in their life, or even avoidant. They could be suffering from all this PTSD from not having parents, or having been abandoned, or having been neglected, or abused in some way, and you are this stability that they never got in their life. That's how people see you. That's what people need from you, because you are someone who teaches people to build their lives and rebuild themselves. It's like you show them the way. And you yourself, you could have a really toned body or a strong body. Maybe you work out at the gym. You could be really good at working with your hands, because I'm seeing so many hands here. You maybe heal with your hands, or you play some musical instrument with your hands, or you build something. Maybe you sculpt, or you are an artisan and you build something with your hands. But it's almost like it's something you teach people, even if it's just through your example, right? Or the words you speak. There's some form of communication. Either people observe you doing things, or you write things, or you say things, or there's something where you are an inspiration to people, where you end up teaching people and showing people the deep sense of accomplishment that you feel, or you can feel, from building for yourself, and building and being this fortress for yourself, being this stable foundation for yourself, even when you didn't have one growing up. Energy healing. Yeah, your energy is very healing. You could be an energy healer. You could be a builder, for all I know. You could be a musician, a builder, or an energy healer. But I'm speaking more about your spiritual energy here, your purpose, your true purpose, which is always spiritual, right? Even if, let's say, you are a personal trainer, and that in itself is an energy healing, is a form of energy healing. It all depends on the energy that is within you, that is infinite, because you are connected to the higher realms, right? And you are connected to the angelic realm. You are connected to the heart chakra. So you are connected to the energy of love, infinite love, and unconditional love, universal love, right? And so you have natural healing abilities, and these are actually a very important part of your life purpose. And again, those angel wings all over. We have angel wings in all of these cards here. Support. Yeah, you're very supported by the angelic realm. You are a support system to others, even to strangers, right? You are a support system, and you are very supported. Whenever you're working to help other people, you're getting a lot of support here. Yeah, healer. So you could be meant to be a doctor, or a healer, or in the healing arts, in some form of healing here, okay? Now it could be medical, it could be like a physician, or you could be like a Reiki master, or an energy healer. However, whatever you do, whether this is play a musical instrument, that is very healing. If you build something, like if you build a home, or you build something and you give it to someone, that in itself is going to have the healing that is in your hands, in your energy. You whatever you do, you put your healing energy into it. Okay? And yeah, we have crystals. So you could be connected to crystals, and your connection to crystals and gemstones is a channel for healing energy again. So you are a channel for healing, basically. That is who you are at your core. And the reason why you have seductive qualities is so that people can be drawn to you, so you can then heal them. Like, I'll give you one example. Like, I was reluctant to use tarot. I used to only own oracle decks, right? Because, of course, there is a downside to tarot. There is the addictive side, and there is, of course, everything else that some people talk about. But, the way I choose to see it is, first of all, with our energy, we make things into whatever we want to make them, right? Unless, of course, there has been a sin committed or a crime, right? Then that is different. But if we're talking about artwork, right? And certain symbology in it, we are living on this planet, and a lot of what's on this planet is not positive. And so tarot really is a tool. And that's how I see it. A tool for therapy. And so I use it how I see fit. And it's like, it's the seduction, right? Tarot would be the seduction, right? And what is the purpose? To almost like lure people in to their own healing, which is what happens on this channel. This is basically a healing channel that is also a tool for manifestation. Every single one of these videos is a tool to manifest, whether you're aware of this or not, to manifest your best life, right? And the tarot is like the hook, right? But it is not. See, I haven't laid out any tarot just yet. And yeah, I do have some here, but I don't dislike tarot. I quite like it because it tells the story. But the purpose on this channel is not to get a tarot reading, is not to know your future. It's to work with the energy available so you can create the future that you want. See? And so I see your seductive qualities being the hook to pull people in so you can heal them. Okay, that's the energy I see here. Pluto, because your energy is definitely game-changing, life-changing, transformative, renewing, okay, empowering. Whatever you give to people, first of all, you're super powerful, is what I see. You could have some placement in Scorpio or a very powerful Pluto placement, but you are a powerhouse. You are powerful. Your energy is like, if you open your eyes and you look at someone, people are like sold, okay? Done. They're like one look from you and people are in your energy, right? And there's a reason for that. And that reason is a healing one. There could be other reasons, but if you're on my channel, most likely the other reasons don't apply, okay? It's like you are here to help people evolve, to help people become who they're meant to be, basically. And look at this. And because of that 10th house, it is possible, or most likely is what I'm seeing here, that there is some degree of fame that you will achieve in this lifetime. And again, it's not for you. It is not for you. Very seldomly do people get famous for themselves, for selfish reasons. People will normally be famous or get famous because they are giving something of that is of service and that is valuable to someone else, right? But with this comes enormous responsibility. But I feel that you feel this responsibility, right? And you can take this responsibility on. But you are meant to be an authority figure, a leader of sorts, maybe a thought leader or some kind of mentor, but definitely very respected, very you're going to have a reputation here for healing and helping people. And that's kind of what you're going to be known for, and very known for, is what I'm seeing here. But again, for some of you, you're going to be famous for your musical attributes, or your your musical skills, or your building skills, or your artistic skills, or just for being a healer. And why? Because in all of this, the thing is, people go to you, flock to you. I see a following as well here. I see fans. I saw all of that because they need your healing energy. Yes, 6th house, healing. Again, healing, healing, healing. Your work is very healing. Whatever you do for work, it's healing. Maybe you're involved in apothecary, health, well-being, diet, something to do with your daily rituals, purifying, okay, methods. People feel like they can learn a lot from you. You have a lot to teach, and you're meant to be known for for your daily work, for your job. You're meant to be known for professionally, for your career, for your work, the work that you do. And again, that 8th house, like Pluto energy, Scorpio energy, again, I'm seeing Virgo and Capricorn energy here too. It's like something about you allows people to get close to you. Maybe people tell you their secrets because they know that they intuitively feel drawn to you, because they know if they tell you their secrets, you are someone who is able to help them transmute the energy. And people also feel safe to trust you with their secrets because they know that you can keep a secret. Uranus. Yes, your energy is very life-changing again. You could be very eccentric almost, or like you look a certain way and people don't expect you to be a certain way, but then you are a lot deeper than people first give you credit for, right? There is something about you being a surprise or very unique, very unlike anyone else. And you are someone who definitely is very lit. Again, you may have these sudden epiphanies, dreams, breakthroughs. Again, you could become famous all of a sudden, like have this breakthrough, because I'm definitely seeing you with all this magnetism and this energy of being seen and visible, and like you either have become famous all of a sudden or you will, but you are someone who's very original, very unexpected. You show up in people's lives very out of the blue, unexpectedly as well, and there are things in your life that happen unexpectedly and out of the blue, such as intimate connections. Like, you attract people who normally wouldn't be, like, looking outside in wouldn't be a good fit for you, or something taboo, or something where they're not your type, or you're not their type, but then you become their type, but then it's like you don't really have a type, something like that. And you're someone who's very free, and you like to experiment, and edgy even. You like to break the rules almost, like you're revolutionary. You're a game changer is what I'm seeing here. Yes, your mind is very expanded, expansive. It's always expanding. Maybe you travel a lot. And again, with the Sagittarius 10th house and Uranus and 6th house, it is possible that you're meant to be famous around the world or seen on a world screen or something. You're meant to travel, you're meant to deal with other cultures, you're meant to touch people from all cultures. And you're very philosophical, very independent. You could have Sagittarius in your chart, Aquarius, Uranus strongly, or Uranus in Sagittarius, or Pluto in Sagittarius, or Pluto in the 8th house, 6th house, 10th house, which makes you a powerhouse, by the way. Yeah, like, you're very adventurous, and you're also very honest. Like, I see you as someone who, you know how to keep a secret, but if someone asks you to be honest, you will be honest. And you're a risk taker. You're this unbridled, free energy. Very enthusiastic. No matter what happens to you, you find a way to get excited about life and excite other people about their own life as well. We have 5 of water, 5 of cups. So you've been through your fair share of loss and sadness and pain, okay? You have. I see that here. You have been through that. And you have felt left out in the cold many times. And maybe disappointed in love even, but you could have Gemini in your chart as well, with the Lovers being here. The number 6 could be relevant again. But you know, no matter what you've been through, you're still filled with love. You're still able to share the love. You did not allow your negative experiences to take over you. You just dealt with it by taking your time off and then recovering and getting back, because Sagittarius is this very positive energy that no matter what you go through, you just recover from it and you keep going. It's like you get back on that horse. You're a very loving person. And the Empress. Libra and Taurus energy, you're very attractive. I did see that. Well, with all the seductive qualities, of course, you could have Venusian energy. We started with the Venusian energy from the beginning. So I wouldn't be surprised if you were like a Libra Scorpio cusper, or you have a lot of Libra and Scorpio in your chart. Taurus, Gemini. You could be on a higher level soulmate connection here, because the divine feminine empress energy with the lovers here. The number 3 could be relevant to you, the number 6, and now I'm seeing the number 9, so it's 369. I'm seeing Fibonacci. But it's like you're very balanced, you're very connected to the natural world as well as the ethereal world. You're like you create a bridge between heaven and earth. And because of this, you're a powerful manifester as well. It's like you are meant to reap a harvest. You are meant to be abundant. You are meant to be nurturing and capable, and you're meant to lead by example. And you're very highly attractive. I do see that. And you are meant for wealth as well. I'm seeing to be wealthy. Okay? And the reason why that blessing is bestowed upon you is because Spirit knows that you will share that one way or the other. Okay? You could have Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries in your chart, but you are a fire starter. You are a firecracker. You have this very, I wouldn't say bubbly energy, but you have this very go-getter energy when you're balanced, okay? When you're balanced, you have this energy of feeling very motivated, very lit from within. You have this fire inside of you. The Magician, Gemini energy again. You're a powerful manifester again, reiterating the same thing. You have the ability to create and co-create any kind of reality you wish to. And I'm seeing the Merkaba energy here. I'm seeing again that connection to the higher realms. And it's because of that connection here. So 2 of Wands, you're a powerful strategizer, like you know how to plan things. Queen of Cups, that doesn't surprise me, Scorpio energy, but again, that is very loving, powerful energy. I'm seeing very strong Scorpio here. Pisces and Cancer as well, but I'm seeing very strongly Scorpio. And it's just this very strong energy. You could come off as a little bit dominant at times, but it's like whatever you have going on deep down. I'm seeing tough love as well. I'm seeing tough love. This pile, you guys, is so interesting. So interesting. You're very loving. People feel your love, but there's also an element of tough love. Now we have Cancer energy here. But you're definitely meant to achieve a lot of things, because whatever you're meant to achieve is not only going to benefit you, but it's going to benefit many. It's going to bring a lot of balance to the world, because you have this undying love within you. And you're meant to share it. You're meant to teach people about love, true love, universal love, love consciousness, raise people's vibration. And the love you have shared with whomever, people who were ignored, people from your family, people who were unseen, people, your friends, whoever's life you touched with love. And that love you shared will stay with people forever. Regardless of whether it's a friendship, a romantic connection, a familial connection, or a total stranger. The way you've touched people's lives is going to stick with them forever. And they are going to then, as a ripple effect, spread the love to others because of what you gave them. Powerful, powerful reading. And you're meant to achieve your goals. You are. You are. You are here on this earth to create a balance that comes from love, to get people out of their sadness. Okay? Beautiful reading, pile number 1. Let me know how that resonates for you in the comment section. If it did not resonate, choose another pile. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell if you'd like to be notified of future uploads on the channel. Save the video if you want to watch again later. Share the video if you feel someone would benefit from this message. If you want extra content, I have a Patreon and TikTok, information in the description box. I will soon be doing a draw, and I do them regularly now, of either a life purpose or a numerology report for 3 people on my Patreon. So yeah, the perks. So thank you so much for watching. Bless you all and see you sometime soon. Bye for now. Till next time. Welcome, pile 2. This is your reading. This is who you are at your core, and this is who you are meant to be. So you chose this orange calcite, and the number 40 here could be relevant to you. So what I'm seeing here, first of all, I'm seeing 2 figures, 2 faces in this card. So you're meant to, maybe you had a twin in the womb, or you have a twin, or you are on a twin flame journey. But you're definitely meant to be in a partnership. And I'm seeing a romantic partnership here. You're someone very creative, very sensual, very inspiring, very inspired. The number 40 could be relevant to you. The number 4, you're very organized. Okay. What else do we have? Yeah, you're definitely meant to shine your light some way, somehow on this plane in this lifetime. So you're meant to have some form of visibility, or you do shine very brightly. People, like you walk into a room and people notice you. You could feel connected to the mermaids. I'm hearing Song of the Siren, so you are seductive in some way, or something attracts people toward you. It could be your voice. You could have a beautiful voice. The number 44 could be relevant to you, as well as the number 8. You are divinely guided and surrounded by archangels. I'm seeing some parallels between pile 2 and pile 1, so there could be a message in pile 1 for you. I'm seeing that immediately already. Now we have angel number 444. You may want to check that out. But you are being divinely guided. And where you're guided is toward your stability. You're guided toward financial stability and otherwise. The Pilgrim. The number 20 could be relevant to you, as well as the number 2. But it's almost like this lifetime is like a pilgrimage for you. It's like a spiritual school, like with a lot of spiritual lessons. And you're meant to travel. Maybe you have traveled a lot, but you're meant to travel. And you're meant to learn while you travel. You're meant to learn from different cultures. You're meant to learn things online. Travel through books, travel on a plane, travel in a car, a bicycle. You're meant to move around, because that's how you learn the best, by traveling, by experiencing things. You're meant to gain experience by all this connecting to others, and relationships will teach you a lot. Like, you know how it is taught in spirituality that everything we need is within us, but in your case, and that is true to some degree, but we are creatures of connection, dependency, like we do depend on each other. We're no islands. We are not independent of each other. We need each other. And so this is especially true for you, with that 20 being there, that is a 2, and these 2 here, like you really need, it's like you light up when you are relating to others. So your life purpose could either be in Libra, or the 7th house, or the 8th house, the 4th house, possibly the 5th house. That's where you find your true connection, is through others. Could be in Cancer, could be your North Node could be in Cancer, could be in Libra, could be in Leo. Not so much Leo, but the 5th house. That's how you learn and you grow, is by relating and traveling and connecting to people. So you could also have Virgo or Gemini in your chart, Sagittarius as well. But you're meant to allow yourself to wander. You need to wander around. You need to get lost without a map. You need to go without a plan. Dig deep, like relate to people on a deeper level. Okay? I have goddess energy here, the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. So you're very connected to your feminine side. You could have Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio in your chart, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. You're very connected to your feminine side. If you are masculine, you're very respectful of the feminine energy. You are someone very sensual. I do see that. You're like a life force. You have this power to create. Again, this creative power. Your wisdom comes from your connection to that internal spark. You're here, you have this, something about you is very nurturing, and that is like a life-saving device to others. Like, you save people with your love, with your heart. All this heart energy. We have 2 hearts here already. So you have a very active heart chakra. And you're also a problem solver. You're very creative solutions that are able to save a situation. Like, you support people by bringing them solutions to their problems rather than bringing them a problem with no solution. Like, you would be the problem solver in the company or in your household. Like, if people can't solve something, you will be able to come up with a creative solution. And you're someone who provides strength and support to others, who in a time of crisis, like when they can't think straight, you will be the calm in the storm. Like, even if you're going through a crisis, you will have calm discernment to be able to make sound decisions. Okay? And you act out of love with no expectation of rewards. But at times, on the flip side, on the shadow side, you may assume that others will be there to rescue you as well and reciprocate, but that is not always the case. And so there's always someone around you who is wanting to be rescued, and at times you feel that you don't have the same back. And so you feel a little bit like abandoned or lost or left out in the cold by people around you who don't have the same capacity, ability that you do. Okay? And you're here to learn as well how to explore your female nature or your feminine side through connecting with feminine energies. Gardening. You're a powerful manifester. You could be into gardening or agriculture, something like that. You could be into these things, gardening or agriculture. But you're meant to manifest a lot in this lifetime. And whatever seeds you plant will grow a harvest. And you will always get karma or dharma for whatever you sow. And your karma, your dharma is very, very active in this lifetime. It's very, very quick and strong. Books. You connect to your life purpose through your involvement in books. So you could be an avid reader, or you could be meant to write books or learn through books. But your life purpose is somehow connected to reading and writing, or books in general, or things that you learn through books. Again, you may travel a lot through books, something you read. You're very protected. You're very connected to Archangel Raphael. You have this healing energy. You are meant to experience more than one profession or career. You're not meant to do the same thing all your life. You're meant to change careers. And don't be afraid to change careers, because that's what you're meant to do, because you're meant to do things from your heart space. Whatever makes you happy, you're meant to do, because that is how you will be the most powerful contribution to the world and to yourself. Flowers. Working with flowers will open your heart and bring blessings to others through your life purpose. So again, your life purpose may at one point involve books or writing or learning, and at another point working with flowers somehow. Healing, tattoo artist, personal trainer, body work, anything that involves body work. You could have Virgo in your chart or 6th house energy, like involved in beauty, something about physical therapy, exercise training, or energy healing, massage therapy, something like this. Whichever way you go, you will always be on the right path, because you're always being divinely guided through these changes. So you could be a life path number 5, or something about Gemini energy, Mercurial energy, ever-changing energy, or you have like immutable signs like Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo in your chart. Keep doing what you're doing, because it's working. If it's working for you, if it's making you happy, it's making other people happy. And you will know that you're on the right path. Yeah, travel. Again, that Mercurial energy, that Jupiter energy, moving around, changing countries, going places, different places, learning from travel. Your life purpose involves traveling, either physical or on the internet. Again, look, he's using a laptop while he's sitting at the airport. So you could be like a digital nomad, or you could be into e-commerce. Your work can allow you to live anywhere you want. Your work could depend mostly on emailing and website and phone calls and stuff like that. And then the occasional meeting here or there, but you can work from anywhere is what I'm seeing here. School. So you're someone who is an avid learner. You're always learning. And because of that, you're always evolving, is what I'm seeing here. You could be meant to teach in different schools, in different countries, or different cities, different states. Venus, love. But your main message is a message of love, spreading love, being nurturing, bringing this nurturing energy. You're meant to attract a lot toward you with this Venus energy. You're meant to, definitely a connection to pile number 1, you're meant to attract a lot to your life. And again, you're meant to be recognized for your own beauty. There's something about you that is very attractive, beautiful, handsome. And you're meant to, maybe there's some delayed gratification when it comes to the effort you put in, and later on in life you reap some wealth here, I'm seeing. And again, this energy of sensuality, you're very sensual, very creative, very fertile, very abundant, very pleasing to the eyes is what I'm seeing as well. Very attractive. People value you. And you're meant to live a life of pleasure. And 7th house, I did see this energy right from the get-go here. You thrive through relationships. You're meant to relate to people. You're meant to live a soulmate connection, or maybe more than one. You're meant to get married. You're meant to have a best friend. You're meant to relate to people. This brings you balance. You could be meant to work in the justice system in some capacity. You could have Libra in your chart. But partnerships, sharing is very important for your equilibrium. It's almost like you need people to be to oppose to you and to be mirrors to you so that you can become aware or more aware. You have this social awareness about you as well. Neptune. You're very dreamy and you're meant to have a lot of dreams. And I feel you're going to dream about the person you're going to end up with, spending like a long-term relationship with, be that marriage or something similar. But you're very tapped into the subconscious. You have a strong imagination that you're meant to use. You're very spiritually connected. You could tend to escapism, and you can be like, you have your own fantasy worlds. Something about you is very ethereal. When people look at you, you have like this ethereal beauty about you. Otherworldly, like, you know, like the mermaids. Opposition, balance. Yeah, opposition brings you balance. Whatever is shown to you, whatever is mirrored to you, you use that. If you perceive it as an obstacle, you turn it into a stepping stone. You see it as something making you conscious and showing you something that needs change, and so you turn it into a strength. You discipline yourself. You almost like you like to be called out. You're very mysterious. You're very like, there's something about you that people can't quite put their finger on, can't quite explain about you. You have heightened psychic abilities, very connected to universal truth, the cosmos. You've done a lot of shadow work. You're not shy to do that. You're not scared, afraid, or even too proud to do it at all. You're connected to the higher realms. You're connected to the other side. Your intuition is very strong. You have a very strong inner knowing as well. Again, you could have Scorpio in your chart. Something about you is very intense. You're very maybe secretive, secretly obsessive maybe. People may not know this about you, but you're very intense. Something about your eyes is very intense, and it's like it's a small sign of what goes on inside you that's very deep. You could have a tendency to manipulate people if you wanted to. But with all this love energy here, I don't think you would do that or be destructive in the way that you could be. You're very powerful, but you will only use your power to create a balance. You will not use your power to destroy anything or anyone, even though, if anything, you would destroy boundaries. Boundaries that keep people away from the energy of love. Four of Cups. You've been through some disappointments in life. You at times feel like there's more to life. There's more to life, and you feel like you haven't fulfilled your potential so far. But you keep going, and you keep waiting for the time where you will be able to fulfill all this potential. And you're a hard worker. You won't stop until you feel like you have fulfilled that potential to some degree. You could have Capricorn in your chart. You're a very hard worker. You could be a little bit of a workaholic. The number 15 and the number 6 could be relevant to you. You're definitely a dreamer. You have a lot of options in life, a lot of opportunities coming your way, a lot of talents, a lot of knowledge, a lot of skills, experience, and you may have difficulty choosing which way to go, what to do, but you see, again, you're meant to do all these things, and it could be way up to 7 things, creative and non-creative. Like at one point you could be like, let's say, a writer. At another point you could be an air host or hostess. You could be a pilot. You could be a digital nomad, and then at other times you could settle down and get married and stay in one place, and then another time you become a gardener or do all these different things in your life because you're meant to do all these things. Or you're meant to, and you're meant to do all of them in one big thing. You're also meant to have more than one stream of income. And you're meant to persist. You're very persistent. You don't give up easily. You're not someone who gives up easily. And I suspect that you've been through maybe one or two, at least one very severe illness that could have taken your life at some point. You've spent some time in the hospital for something very serious, I'm seeing here, very possibly. But you persisted through because you're strong. Libra energy, justice. Again, you could be meant to work in the justice system, persisting and fighting for those who have suffered many battles in life. But I'm seeing you have been through a lot in your life, and you persisted through, and you got your justice. Your karma, your dharma was restored. And you persisted very strongly. You could have Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo in your chart. Slow and steady wins the race would be your motto. You just keep going. You're very strong. You have a strong body is what I'm seeing here. A strong body. And a strong physical presence as well. No matter who tries to come in and interfere with your life, you're ready for it. Now, Eight of Swords, you could be having a tendency to anxiety and overthinking and being stuck in your mind, and your mind being your own worst enemy, the devil in the mind with that temptation there. Your mind tempts you away from what your intuition tells you. And if you feel stuck in your life at any point, it's because of your own mind. Or at some point in your life, you felt stuck because you were being manipulated by someone who was very toxic at some point, who kept you stuck in some way. But you're strong. Be strong. Look at that. You could be connected to Sekhmet. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. Yeah, you persist through any interference, any imprisonment, any manipulation. You see through it, you persist through it, you're smart about it, you know when the time it is to get out of it, and you go for it. You just go for it. You persist. You're strong. Okay, pile number 2, beautiful reading. That was intense, but beautiful. Let me know how that resonates for you in the comments section. If it did not resonate, choose another pile. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell if you'd like to be notified of future uploads on the channel. Save this video if you'd like to watch it again later, and share this video with someone you feel may need this message. I have Patreon for extra content, as well as a TikTok account. Information for that is in the description box. And on my Patreon, I will be regularly drawing 3 people to offer them a life purpose report or numerology report, whichever, by choice, okay, whichever people choose. And yeah, that was your reading. Bless you all. It was a pleasure to read for you today. Bye. See you sometime soon. Welcome, pile 3. If you chose the citrine, this is your reading. This is who you are at your core, and this is who you are meant to be. Okay, so first things first, you are very joyful at your core. You have a very strong center, very creative and confident center, core. That's who you are at your core. You're confident, and you're creative, and you're vibrant. It's like I'm seeing the Earth's nucleus or the sun energy. The number 17 and the number 8 could be relevant to you. Who you're meant to be? Someone who attracts a lot of abundance, stability. Someone stable, someone who accomplishes a lot of the worldly things in this lifetime. Because you are someone very creative, very inspired, very driven. Is what I'm seeing here. Surrender. You have this ability to surrender to what is and to what is meant to be. And this frees your soul and your mind to create, to keep creating without the weight of judgment or anxiety, or so it's like you're weightless in a sense. And this ability to surrender is what keeps you in constant co-creation with the universe. The number 48 could be relevant to you, as well as the number 12 and the number 3. That's why you're always progressing. The number 3 is progress, the self. You're very focused on self, which is a good thing, because you're focused on what you can give rather than what is available around you. You're connected to your core because there is something very valuable there and you see it. Thank goodness someone who sees that. You see it. You see all your colors. You see all your talents, your skills, your knowledge, your value, your worth. Yes, you're a very vibrant, colorful human soul. The number 29 could be relevant to you, as well as the number 2. Your power comes from within and you know it. You know your worth. You know what you have to offer. And you surrender to any outcome. You surrender to any expectation because you know good things are coming to you. You know the things that are meant to be will come your way. You could be very athletic, or you're meant to work on your muscles on your body and have an athletic body. You could have a good genetics or good muscles, like a well-proportioned body is what I'm seeing here. You're meant to transcend your physical limits and limitations. If you do have any handicap, you will succeed regardless. You will transcend any limitations that otherwise that would bring you. You're here to develop your personal willpower, which is a very strong. You're very strong. You're very strong of spirit. Okay? You use yourself for unselfish means, unselfish ends. And it looks like he's doing a victory with his arms there, so I'm seeing you're meant to be victorious, to succeed at life. We have Prince. So your masculine energy is very strong. And I just heard you're meant to be your own knight in shining armor. If you are wanting a knight in shining armor, or you're meant to be someone's knight in shining armor. You have this romantic charm about you. And that is very empowering as well. You're very charismatic. You're very charming. You're like Prince Charming. Or Princess Charming, okay? You know how to be romantic. How to bring in the romance. You're very mysterious and also very intuitive. You could definitely have Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio in your chart. I'm seeing the water signs here very strongly. I'm also seeing fire signs, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. You follow your intuition. You're someone who is very fair. Maybe you work in the justice system. Maybe you're meant to. Maybe you have Libra in your chart. But you're someone who is very fair, very balanced. And you're very protective of others who need your help. So you are someone people go to when they need help. You're very connected to the animal realm. You understand animals and you can communicate with them intuitively. You also trust your animal side, your animalistic side, because that is your inner guidance. Like you have a spirit animal with you. It could be a wolf or a cheetah or some other like feline guide, but you trust your inner guidance. You trust your intuition. And animals, your connection to animals is a very spiritual one. It's very deep. Music. Your connection to music is healing for yourself and others. Maybe music is very healing to you. Or maybe you make music that is very healing. Or maybe you're meant to be a musician. Could be a part of your life purpose. Artist. Engaging in artistic activities is beneficial to you, your career, and every other area of your life. So maybe you are a musical artist, or you're meant to create some form of art that comes from within. Maybe painting, because I'm seeing all these colors here, or music, because she's holding that palette there. Or your body is a work of art, something like that. But this is also saying that engaging in artistic endeavors or creative endeavors is good for you, and what even if you don't use it professionally. We have family. You're meant to have a happy family life, or have a family, or be like family to people who don't have family. Like, you may have friends that feel like family, but something about your life purpose involves family and friends here. You're meant to be a leader, or take leadership, or take the reign. Maybe you're meant to be the head of a family, or be the leader in your family. You could be single mothers, or you could be fathers. I'm seeing Joan of Arc here, so that could resonate with you. I'm seeing a warrior-like energy in you, someone who doesn't give up, someone who takes responsibility for your own health, your own body, your own life. You're not waiting for someone else to come and save you, that's for sure. You will not be one complaining about your health or what your body looks like. You will take care of it before you complain. But you have deep feelings. You feel very deeply. You could have, again, Cancer, Pisces in your chart. You're very nurturing. You're very, you follow your gut instinct. You have very strong intuition and instincts, both. You could have some problems with your digestion, but home and family is very important to you. And you have a strong sense of self, because you know you need to be strong for your family. You are the strong one in the family. Even though you could be very connected to your feminine side, whether you're masculine or feminine, doesn't matter. You're also very connected to that masculine side. So there's a good balance in you. You balance out your moods, your emotions. You could be a little bit conditioned by something that happened in your family while you were growing up, that affected your psyche in some way, things that you need to work on, that affected you first. Yeah, it affected how you view the world. It affected how you present yourself in the world. And for some of you, you had a strong family, a strong foundation in your family, and that turned you into this very strong presence in the world, like giving this example. But you have something about your physical appearance, your body is very strong, comes off very strongly to others. Something about your body, your life philosophy really draws attention to you. You're someone who's very self-aware, very expressive, something very strong about how you express yourself. Capricorn, you could be a boss, or meant to be your own boss, or be someone's boss or CEO, or get a promotion. You're very responsible, very serious, realistic, structured, traditional, wise. You have endurance. You're someone who is meant to be very accomplished. You're down to earth, very competent, very disciplined. Something very majestic about you. Badass. You're a badass. Leader. Yeah. Your life is meant to expand. You're meant to travel, see the world. You're meant to expand with your business, with your career. You're maybe meant to be selling things around the world, or being seen around the world. Life is going to be very generous to you if it hasn't been up until now. Okay, there's travel coming up. You're meant to travel. There's something, you're meant to be enthusiastic, or you're someone who is very enthusiastic. Even though you have a serious side, you also know how to play. So I'm seeing play hard. So I'm seeing work hard, play hard energy for you. You know when to gamble, and you know when to hold back. Very interesting energy here. Maybe you're meant to be a teacher of sorts. You're meant to teach on a high level, like a spiritual teacher or a university teacher. Or maybe you have people who have a lot of responsibility, or who are famous, or who are high up in the ranks, career-wise, you have something to teach these people. There's a lot of opportunities that are meant to open up for you. And again, I'm seeing all this painting stuff. I don't know what's up with the painting. Maybe it's a good therapy for you, or maybe this is something you do that you're good at, that you're meant to keep doing and expanding. You have a complex personality, though. There's something very complex about you. You're not like just simple. Something about you puzzles people. Maybe there are things that are contradictory about you. Maybe people require translation when you speak, but something about you transforms and educates people like a missing puzzle piece. You bring people the missing puzzle piece, that mysterious thing that they were missing. You could have Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries in your chart. You have a big heart. I do see that here. And you know when to offer your heart. And you know when not to. You're very wise. You're like an inspiration. You are definitely meant to be a boss. You have your own business here. 9 of Wands. Paul too also got the 9 of Wands. So there could be a message there for you. You fought many battles in this lifetime. You've got hurt a lot of times, but you always got back up. You definitely have this warrior energy about you. You don't give up. You're a fighter. And you're a hard worker. 8 of Pentacles, definitely. A connection to Pile 2 here. Your hard work is paying off. Your hard work will pay off. You're meant to see life from a different perspective. You're someone who has awakened, who is able to place yourself in other people's shoes. The number 12, the number 3 could be relevant to you. You've been in situations that have forced you to see things from a different perspective. And you're meant to travel to see life from a different perspective and to broaden your horizons. You've been through a lot of endings, and these endings were meant to show you a different side of life, to open up your mind. You could have a sun in Gemini or Gemini energy. You've been through oppression. You've been through tough times. You've been through endings. You've been through loss. You've been through a lot. Wow. You've lost very close, important people to you, either by death or separation, divorce. Maybe you dealt with people who were very oppressive. Maybe you were in and out of the hospital for something very serious at least once in your life. But you, with all these 10s, you still stuck around. You're still powerful. You're still in your power. I'm seeing whenever you suffered financial loss, you always had savings for a rainy day, and that got you through. And you stayed committed to your path, committed to your higher self, the Hierophant there. For some of you, you're meant to be married in this lifetime twice. Yes, you're meant to be independent. You could have Aquarius in your chart. Sorry, Aquarius as well, but Aries and Aquarius. Your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. I'm also seeing Sagittarius here. But with Bast here, I'm seeing Libra again. And a connection to Bastet or ancient Egypt. Maybe you have a cat or 2. But you're meant to be independent. Whether you're in a relationship or not. Because what I'm seeing is something about you either separating or something happening where you really have to work on your money, but there's something in you that is your nature. That's who you are, and so that is going to save you from, or it has saved you from, a ruin. And maybe you've had to learn your own independence in order to be free from some form of oppression. That was maybe even making you sick. and you're meant to evolve and get out of that energy. So good for you, pile number 3. That was your reading. Let me know how that resonates for you in the comments section. If it did not resonate, choose another pile. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell if you'd like to be notified of future uploads on the channel. Save this video if you want to watch it later, and share this video with someone you feel may need this message. I have Patreon and TikTok for extra content. Information in the description box. On Patreon, I will do these draws from time to time regularly to offer either a life purpose or a numerology report as per the winner's choice, and 3 people at a time will be the winners of the draw. So it was a pleasure to read for you guys today. Bless you all, and see you sometime soon. Bye for now. Welcome, pile 4. This is your reading. This is who you are at your core and who you are meant to be. The number 29 could be relevant to you, as well as the number 2. Labradorite. You have strong psychic abilities, and you're meant to use your intuition. You're very connected to the cycles of the moon. You could have Cancer or Pisces in your chart. You have a strong intuition. Your strongest psychic ability would be your claircognizance. You're very connected to the cycles and the rhythms of the moon, and you know how to work with them, or you should learn. You're meant to use your psychic abilities some way. Yes, you're definitely meant to wander beyond the mind, to transcend the mind. So you could have also Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius in your chart. So in this lifetime, you're meant to transcend reason and use your intuition. You have this strong ability to transcend your mind. You see beyond. Your higher chakras are very activated and active. You're very connected to the higher realms. The number 20 could be relevant to you. The number 2, you receive a lot of downloads. The 1. So you're meant for some higher purpose on this earth. You have a very strong mission, and you're the only one who can carry out this mission. And it's a mission that is being communicated and downloaded through you, through your crown chakra. The number 30 could be relevant to you, as well as the number 3. The 1. You're the chosen one for something. Okay? You are the chosen one for something. You're highly spiritual. You're highly connected to the higher realms for a reason. Trickster. So you have this energy where you're able to manipulate energy and even people, but for a very important and higher reason. You're here to transcend convention and help people transcend themselves. You're here to teach people how to become who they're meant to become, to move away from the stuffiness of their lives. You're definitely not predictable. People don't know what to expect from you. You could have Gemini or Virgo in your chart. Libra. I'm seeing duplicity here. Pisces. You could be elusive, or you have a way with your words, or a way with your charm, something here, because there's a mission that you have here. Damsel. You understand the nature of a healthy romance. You have at some point felt like a damsel in distress, but at other points in your life, whether you're feminine or masculine, doesn't matter, you have learned to rely on yourself, because you understood that maybe you dealt with tricksters, people who didn't have your best interest at heart, and so maybe you felt that there was someone who was the one, but then you had to rely on yourself. And maybe this came about so that you would learn to rely on yourself and not expect someone else to come in and save you. But at some point in your life, you came into this energy of relying on yourself only. Even though there is a healthy level of interdependency, you understand that if something were to happen to the other person, then you always have yourself. You could be a powerful communicator with this blue energy. Something about your throat chakra has been healed. You are a powerful communicator, and you're meant to be communicating authentically, communicating your truth. So I'm seeing you as someone very truthful, honest, creative. And it says your soul longs to express itself creatively. So if your soul longs to do this, it may be time for you to start doing something creative. If you don't already. If you do, then this is confirmation, validation. Light and love. Your purpose is to bring divine healing light to love and love to this world through some form of creative expression or communication. You're meant to follow your heart's desires because that is divine guidance to where you need to go and what you need to communicate, and your mission is driven by your heart's desires. So whatever you want to do is what you should be doing because that is guidance toward your mission. The angels are supporting, guiding, and protecting you as your dreams become a reality. You have these dreams for a reason. It's because you're meant to follow them, because following your dreams is following your mission. You're very highly sensitive. You could be very connected to crystals. You could work well with crystals. Crystals are very healing to you. And you are becoming increasingly more sensitive. And you need to make certain changes accordingly. You need to walk away from energies, people, places, situations, circumstances that are toxic. Because you're becoming increasingly sensitive because you're connected to the higher realms, and your body can't take certain harsh environments. And so you could even become sick in someone's presence. So you need to protect your energy. Learn to protect your energy. You are meant to experience a variety of careers and changes in your life. You're not meant to do just one thing. You could be connected to pile number 2 here. You're meant to embark in any career that brings you joy, because that's what will bring you and others abundance. And that's why you change careers, because there's a point where one career or one thing you're doing is no longer bringing you joy. One of the things you may be meant to do is read oracle cards or paint, work with crystals, healing as well, communication in some form. Your life purpose could be communication, connected to communication, because we have life purpose here, North Node, destiny. You are destined to communicate, to guide people, to guide yourself. You have the ability to discern answers and guidance from cards. Your destiny is connected to communication, your life purpose. You could have Aquarius in your chart. You're meant to innovate and do something very differently. You're powerful. You have something powerful to communicate. A game changer. You're always 50 years ahead in terms of futurism, like you're very futuristic, like in your vision. You can see into the future. You can bring the future to the present. You have a strong outlook on life. You have a strong mission statement. You're meant to leave a mark on the world. Your point of view is meant to be shared because it's very valuable. You leave a very strong impact, first impression on people. Something about your body is very striking, very powerful, about your presence. You've healed a lot and you are very healing to others. You've grown a lot, you've released a lot, you're very focused on your own personal development. You've dealt with generational trauma. You've healed generational trauma, ancestral karma. You've had to move past shame. You've had to forgive. You are a powerful forgiver. Your power lies in your ability to forgive, to move past the pain and to soften, to cleanse, no matter what you've been through. You're very mystical, empathic, understanding, imaginative, ethereal, dreamy. You have very strong healing dreams. Chariot, Cancer energy. You're meant to move forward with your dreams and achieve your dreams, because that will bring a balance to yourself and the world. You're a powerful manifester. You could have Gemini in your chart. Could be a Gemini, Cancer, Cusper. like born in the last days of Gemini, first days of Cancer possibly, or you could be a Gemini in Vedic and a Cancer in tropical. But you're a powerful manifester. You can manifest anything into this reality. You're very heart-driven, driven by where your heart leads you. You could have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio in your chart. You could have a child, meant to be a parent. You're very strong. You know when to hold back. You know when to move forward. You could have Leo in your chart. You're meant to follow your heart. You're meant to accomplish a lot financially in terms of stability by following your heart. Don't be afraid to follow your heart. It will lead you toward stability. Okay? And you're meant to come together with a higher level soulmate, Gemini energy. But for this to happen, you need to be in your receptive energy. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability. You definitely have a strong high priestess power here to you. So the main message here is there's not much hard work you need to do. You just need to manifest, take a few practical steps, heal, and then receive. So anything you manifest, it translates very quickly if you just allow yourself to receive. You have this energy of creation within you, love and creation. Pile number 4, that was your reading. Let me know how that resonates for you in the comments section. If it did not resonate, choose another pile. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell if you'd like to be notified of future uploads on the channel. Save this video if you want to watch it later. Share this video with someone you feel may need this message. I have extra content on Patreon and TikTok. On Patreon, I will do regular draws. I have done one already for my Patreons for life purpose or numerology reports, depending on your choice. And there will be one coming up soon. It was a pleasure to read for all of you today. Bless you all and see you sometime soon. Bye for now. Until next time. Welcome, pile 5. This is your reading. If you chose Aura Light, this is who you are at your core, and this is who you are meant to be. Okay. The number 8 may be relevant to you. It's like you have this aura of, it's like you're the kind of person, you don't need to sit down to meditate. It's almost like you're always in this meditative state. It's like it's your natural state of being. It's who you are naturally. You naturally meditate. You are naturally capable of clearing your mind. And you have a lot of control over your own mind. Like if you're overthinking, you will be able to stop that very, very easily. So you have this very calm presence about you, very peaceful energy about you. And you're always connected. You're always divinely inspired because you're always connected. You're not the kind of person who needs to ask to be connected. You've always been connected. And you have these very unique gifts. You have very unique psychic gifts, or these gifts that are very, not a lot of people around you have. Let's put it that way. We have the number 8 could be relevant to you. So you're very stable. Your energy is very stable. And 55, you're meant to go through a lot of changes in your life, or you've been through a lot of changes in your life. And you're meant to use several gifts and not just one. You're meant to live several realities, lives. You're meant to have different professions even in this lifetime, different career paths. Changing career paths, changing cities, changing life circumstances. Life is ever changing for you. The number 10 and the number 1 could be relevant to you. Angel number 55, check that out. But you have these very unique gifts. We have the Father. So you're either meant to be a father figure in someone's life, or something about your relationship with your father deeply affected you. in some way, positive or negatively. I'm not looking into that just yet. The number 2 may be relevant to you. So either you have gifts that were passed down by your father, or you have the unique gift of fatherhood to be a good father, or you somehow had felt the need to impress your father, and therefore your father may have been some kind of catalyst for you to explore and develop several gifts in your life. You have poets, so you maybe when you write it's very poetic, or you speak poetically, or you are literally a poet. You write down poetry, or you have the ability to write down lyrics, or the way you express yourself is just very lyrical, poetical. You have this ability to express soul insights in symbolic language. You may, at times in your life, be self-sabotaging. You may have a tendency to self-sabotage at times, because at times in your life your fear flares up a little bit. Not always, because then you always calm down. But if you don't evolve as quickly as you think you should or you would like, it's because at times your negative thinking can sometimes seep in and cause delays. And so where you are able to meditate and you have these unique gifts, you may struggle at times to surrender. There may be a fear of self-empowerment and the changes that would bring to your life. So you are meant to experience changes, but you may be reluctant or resistant to change or fearful of change at times, even though change really brings you very good things, is what I'm seeing here. But there may be a tendency at times to self-sabotage. But you're this magical being who's meant to transform and transcend. And fear, and you're here to learn that fear is an illusion. Mostly fear has no basis in reality in your life, and you will figure that out. Options. Yeah, you're going to have many options in career, many talents to explore, skills, experiences that you're going to have, changes in career. Maybe some of these options, or one of these options, could be in the legal system, or bringing fairness to people, or relationships. But you're going to have a lot of career possibilities opening up for you. One of them could be counseling. You have this ability to heal with your kind words and wise advice. You could have a very empathic ear. You could be an empath. People feel heard by you. People feel like you hear what they have to say. You listen intently. You have a strong connection to earth and the environment, nature, the animals. Something about one of your career paths could be connected to nature somehow. You have an ability to talk to your angels. Whenever you get worried, the way you lift your fears away is by giving them your burden. And whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, instead of worrying, you just ask for divine guidance, and your angels step in and help you. And then that's when you're able to let go and walk away from the fear. And then trust. You trust. You're very trusting of your feelings, your intuition, your divine guidance. And that is why, even though you may sabotage or self-sabotage at times, it doesn't really get the best of you. It doesn't really last long, because then you snap out of it, because you have this very calm, tranquil quality to you. It seems like you're meant to do well financially in the material world. You're meant to create solidity and stability within your material life. That means your body, your money, your home, your environment. You're a good communicator. You're very perceptive, very street smart, I'm seeing. Maybe you're meant to do something and make money on social media in some way, or through research or networking, I'm seeing. something about walking around the neighborhood, short trips. You could have Gemini in your chart. You could have Taurus in your chart. You could be a Taurus Gemini cusper. You're meant to join forces with others and feel empowered and empowerment. Something about you being very empowered in this lifetime and things flowing for you. So there's really nothing to worry about. This fear is either something that happened to you in the past, something you observe around you, but actually it doesn't affect you, because in your life you're meant to really experience a lot of flow. You have this very nurturing quality to you. You're very sympathetic, empathic toward others, very comforting, very protective. You have this maternal energy to you, whether you are a masculine or a feminine. You understand people's struggles. You have a tendency to nostalgia, getting lost in the past. Childhood memories coming up. You're maybe meant to be a mother. There is some pain from the past that flares up, and that is connected to your fear, but then you work through it. Yeah, you put the pain behind you. That's saying that the pain stays behind you. You close the door on the pain and it's behind you. So you've been through painful situations, but those ended, or they're meant to end. You're meant to live in your wish fulfillment. You're meant to have wishes fulfilled, because you are able to transmute energy. You're a powerful transmuter of energy. I'm seeing Sagittarius energy, Temperance energy, 14, the number 5 being relevant here. You are able to transmute, alchemize negative into positive, raising your vibration, transforming your life, bringing about positive change. You see the truth. You have access to the universal truth. You are living in your truth. And you will always be victorious because you know things. You're very connected to your intuition with the High Priestess here. You see the truth. You see through people. And this gives you an advantage. And this is what helps you work through possible betrayal or pain. You avoid betrayal and pain because you see and you use your intuition, and you have the ability to discern. And because of this, you always transcend the pain, and you are always able to have new beginnings, to still take risks despite whatever you go through. You allow your heart to move you forward. Beautiful reading, pile number 5. That was your reading. Let me know how that resonates for you in the comments section. If it did not resonate, choose another pile. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell if you'd like to be notified of future uploads on the channel. Bless you all, and if you felt that this message was not enough, you may want to go check out pile number 3 or 4. Okay? Bless you all, and see you sometime soon. Bye for now. Welcome, last but not least, pile number 6. This is who you are meant to be and who you are at your core. So we have petalite. So I'm seeing someone very peaceful, very tranquil. You bring peace to those around you. Your third eye chakra is very lit. You have powerful visions, is what I'm seeing here. Maybe in your dreams or in your mind's eye, you just are able to envision things, envision the future, have a vision for something. The number 42 and the number 6 could be relevant to you. 6 is Venusian energy. You have the ability to attract what you visualize. So you're a powerful manifester by way of visualization. You're very aligned. Your energy centers are very aligned, very balanced. You're in alignment with the universe. You're very aligned with the power of the universe, with the energy of the universe. The number 18 and the number 9 could be relevant to you. The siren. So there's a very seductive quality to you. You have a beautiful voice. People feel drawn to your energy. The number 15, 16, 17, 18. Again, we have 18, 18. Repeated numbers. So you may be seeing the number 18 a lot, which is also 9 and 9. Angel number 99. There's something very whimsical about you as well, very otherworldly. very mysterious. You could be a teacher, or you could be meant to teach in some way. Maybe teach singing or music, possibly, but that's just for very few of you. You have the ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, and wisdom in a way that people understand, and in a way that changes people, changes people's lives. You have this very angelic energy about you. You are someone who likes to help those in need with no expectation in return. You are comfortable with timing, and you take your time with wherever you want to go, but you have a good sense of direction. So I'm thinking you're good with maps, or you have a good sense of direction when driving around or when going somewhere. Maybe you teach people the direction in life. Yeah, you're definitely strong energy of a teacher here. You inspire younger people to learn, or people who are younger in spirit than you. So very, very strong teaching vibes. You could be connected to pile number 1. Something about nutrition here that you take very seriously, or maybe you conduct some healing work with your culinary skills, or maybe you do something like a YouTube culinary nutrition channel. Maybe you teach about nutrition. Maybe you're meant to teach about nutrition, and teaching people through nutrition how they can align their energy centers. So I'm seeing something about Ayurveda, writing. So for some of you, you're good writers. You heal, you inspire, you teach, maybe even entertain with the words you write. Maybe you're meant to teach through your writing skills, or teaching people to write. You normally make your decisions based on your heart's desires. You're someone who is very, very strong, almost warrior-like. You could be connected to the Vikings. Or for some of you, connected to India. I'm also seeing connected to North American tribes, natal tribes. I'm seeing Viking energy as well. You're someone, you enjoy your freedom and you value your freedom, and you're someone who is very free. Your mind is very free. And you're actually free to choose to do what you want in this lifetime. You're very action-oriented, very attractive, maybe very active physically. You like to do physical exercise. You're very courageous. You follow your impulses. You have a lot of willpower, a lot of drive in you, a lot of energy. You're very good looking, but also very practical, very earthy, very connected to nature, very fertile, very good looking, pleasure seeking. It says bombshell, so maybe you're a bombshell. Maybe you have Taurus in your chart, Aries as well. You could be an Aries, Taurus cusper, or be Aries, or have these in your chart, or be Aries in Vedic and Taurus and tropical. Or you could just have these in your chart, or strong like Taurus, Mars and Taurus, or Leo, Mars and Leo. Very attractive. I'm seeing someone very attractive here. You're a lover, and you attract a lot of lovers. You attract a lot of attention. You're very expressive, very creative, you shine bright. You glow, you bedazzle people. You're flirtatious, self-confident, maybe extroverted. Very trusting, sometimes excessive maybe, very loving, very playful, very warm, very creative person. And you allow life to happen. You surrender. And you allow all the opportunities to come toward you. You say yes to things. You say yes to life. You could be really good with plants. Aries energy again. Maybe you like cars. You're very daring, very assertive, sparky, courageous, sometimes selfish, but maybe competitive even. But you're like a happy-go-lucky. Any house where you will be in will be a joy to be in. Yeah, you're a risk taker. You're not very hung up on the past. You don't mind starting fresh, starting a new life from zero. Yeah, you'll take any challenge and you will just go for it. Slow and steady wins the race. Again, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo energy now. You're very independent. You're meant to be financially independent on your own without depending much on people. At times you may feel bored and you may need new challenges. That's why you have all these new beginnings. You could have Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius in your chart. You could at times hide your true self from the world for the sake of playing a role in society. But that doesn't last long because then you really take action toward your goals. So I'm seeing someone who moves in silence, but you always do what you want to do. And whatever you work on, it's perfect. You have a good mind. You are a good communicator. You're smart. You're intelligent. Almost like genius. Like you would be good in real estate or architecture. Make a good home, like a comfortable home. Maybe you're meant to be married. I'm seeing here. Very connected to nature. Again, the earth signs very strongly here. Something about you is very connected to nature, and you're meant to do something related to nature in your life. Either the ocean or nature. Whether this is apothecary plants, nutrition, agriculture, gardening, environmentalism. You're very connected to Mother Earth. You could have a connection to Africa. I'm seeing the Himalayas as well. Okay, pile number 6. That was your reading. If you felt drawn to any other pile, I highly recommend you go watch another pile because there's a message there for you. I'm seeing pile number 1 very specifically. So that was your reading. It was a pleasure to read for you today. Bless you all. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell if you'd like to be notified of future uploads on the channel. And see you sometime soon. Bye for now. Till next time.